Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. If you can't tell or not, I am not at the Off-Grid Tiny House. I'm at my parents' house. And I had a question from one of my Patreon members. All my Patreon members I consider awesome because they're actually putting their money where their mouth is and helping support my channel and my project. So hats off. Now, the Patreon member that asked me this question on the Patreon channel, his handle is subscriber. So he's kind of keeping his profile anonymous. But he's in all my credits, as you can see. He had a really good question, and I'm going to get to it right now. So let's get into it right here. So, right in front of you guys, if you don't know, if you're new to my channel, this is my lithium iron phosphate 12 volt battery, 100 amp hours. And it did something goofy the last time I took it to the tiny house. But I'm pretty sure I know what happened. So actually, subscriber, before I get into your question, I'm going to go over this quick. When I stayed over, everything was great, except about 10:45 at night, I lost power from the lithium iron phosphate battery. Shouldn't happen. Hasn't happened before, and I believe I've kind of figured it out after going through the overview of the whole night and what I was doing. So what I did was basically I dialed down the heat in the tiny house. Maybe a little too much. I shut the propane off and was coasting on just the wood stove. Now when that happens, it gets a little cool in there, but not dreadfully cool. It gets down to into the 60s, right? So this guy, lithium iron phosphate battery, is located at the far end of my trailer, away from the heat sources. The floor is pretty much freezing cold on the tiny house because I'm not allowed to put skirting on it, or I will get kicked off the property. Now, everybody in the comment section is absolutely right. I need to insulate my batteries. So that's what I plan on doing, because what happened inside this battery has a bunch of safeties. It's called a BMS is in here, and they come with a low temperature cutoff switch which kills all power to protect this guy from being of a giant paperweight in the end. So that's what happened. Right here, I have this little jump charger. You can check out my past videos on that. I put that on to send 12 volts into this battery to reboot it. So let's go ahead, check it out, and get to that. So I'm going to pull these off. Let's see how much power is left on the jumps pack. It looks like I'm down only by 1 bar is missing out of here. Now, let's get right into the goodies. You press this button. I'm at 47%, 12.3 volts. Should be up around 80 volts. But I'll be bringing this to the tiny house soon to get it charged up fully. Now, back to my question, guys. Well, first, the low temperature cutoff shut my power off because it got too damn cold. So that's why I think this failed that night. I'm going to go back tomorrow night, Saturday, with this guy and recharge him fully. And I'm going to put him, I have one of those insulated Costco bags that I'm going to put this guy into with a little heating mat. And hopefully that'll get me through the night. And I can just keep changing out lithium power packs, batteries for powering the little USB heater mats. Now, what I want to do for my awesome subscriber on Patreon, he wanted to know, I want to make sure you guys can see fairly decent here. There we go. You guys see there's two buttons here. God, I cannot get a camera angle. There's two buttons here. One is the power. He wanted to know what this button does. So if I click it, it actually gives me the temperature of the battery internally, 19 degrees Celsius. Now, I should have did that over at the trailer, but I didn't know to click that button ever until my awesome Patreon members called Subscriber asked about it. So there you go. All it tells you the let's not get into anything else. And then I think I got to leave it for 10 seconds and then it'll shut off. That's the display. This is how many, you can set how long the display comes on and off so it doesn't drain the battery down. So this is on like a 10-second and then it'll go boom. It should. I got to wait. Come on, you can do it. Hopefully. Come on. Maybe. Maybe it's a little longer than 10 because I'm in the menus. But you can program basically the backlight to see how many seconds it turns on and off. Go back to 10. What if I hold this? Does that do anything? Well, we'll just wait and see. This one, I'm not... You can set up certain, I think, voltages. I'm not entirely sure on this part of the menu because they don't give you instructions for this thing. You can buy this little thing individually on Wish. I've seen these, and that's how I knew what the other button does. There's like a instruction manual on there that you can look up. But anyways, I have to recharge this guy, hook it back up to the battery to recharge the battery, and then we should be good. But other than that, that is what that button does, subscribers. So hopefully that helps. Your question was awesome because I didn't know what that button did. I didn't really play with it. So now that we have built-in temperature readings on the battery, on the cells internally, that's a good thing because then I don't need to put a little temperature probe in there. I can just click the display, see what the hell temperature we're at, and then when it gets too damn close to the cutoff, then I'm screwed. But hopefully this time I can watch it, maintain it. I'm going to shoot some videos, obviously, of that tomorrow when I'm there, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's something else, guys. I was worried that this battery was pooched, or I thought either the BMS was really bad, like crappy, or that the battery was crappy. There's a phone call. I'll be back.